University, Anantapur, and formerly Professor, Head, Dean, and Chairman, BOS School of Commerce and Management, Dravidian University, Kuppam. Sir had a work experience of 32 years and worked as university PRO, had guided MPhils and PhDs more than 30 and completed 5 UGC research funded projects. Sir has done his PhD under the guidance of eminent author for HR books, Human Resource Management books, Professor P. Subbarao sir. The sir had attended number of workshops, conferences, seminars, and presented around 44 papers and organized well-versed programs around 9. And number of books the sir had published, those were around 9, and paper publications in international and national journals were around 64. And the sir also written a number of book reviews for journal Vikalpa by IIM Ahmedabad on human resources related, and 4 study materials being prepared for different universities by sir. And sir is the head for the school of Sri Krishna Devaraya Institute of Management, Anantapur, from 2018 onwards, and chairman board of studies in management in SKIM, SK University, and dean industry interface and international collaboration, SK University Anantapur, from 2016 to 2018, and designed and prepared syllabi for more than 100 subjects in the Faculty of Commerce and Management at Dravidian University, Kuppam, for courses such as BBM, MCom, MBA, and PhD in Commerce and Management in the capacity of chairman, BOS, and editor of study material prepared for MBA program under distance mode by the Dravidian University, Kuppam, 2009 to 10. Editor of textbooks for MBA program for the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, Hyderabad, Telangana, 2019 to 20. Establishment of different departments and the School of Commerce and Management at Dravidian University, Kuppam during 2007 to 10. Delivered online lectures on report writing and research methodology module to the professional students of Executive Management Program of the Millennium University, Malawi, Africa on 28th October 2018, and delivered special invited lectures also in various universities. Faculty resource person for Indian Council of Social Science Research, that is ICSSR, Hyderabad, in the program on research methodology course in social sciences for SC and ST scholars held in Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur, in the year 2013, and introduced 2-year full-time residential program in management leading to MBA in Dravidian University, Kuppam. Introduced 5-year integrated course in commerce in the year 2007 to 8 leading to BCom and MCom. Introduced new subjects such as total quality in managing human resources, knowledge management and employee empowerment in both MBA regular and distance modes under HR streams at SK University in the year 2004 to 7. BOS member for various universities, member on the advisory board of ICBM, School of Business Excellence, Hyderabad since 2010, member Academic Senate, Dravidian University from 2007 to 10, member Central Committee for AP ISET 2010, 18, 19, 20, Government of Andhra Pradesh. Member editorial advisory board, Sankalp Journal of Management, C.K. Shah, Vijayapurvala Institute of Management, Vadodara, Gujarat Technological University. Member UGC 11th Plan Evaluation Team that visited Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology, Hisar, Haryana during 26th to 28th July 2008. Nominated in 97 as a member on the expert academic panel for Andhra Pradesh Social Welfare Residential Education Institution Society, Department of Social Welfare, Government of AP. Organized special interaction programs with BHEL, Hyderabad, and Shar Center, Sriharikota in 94 and 95. Prepared study material on management concepts for PGDBM and MBA. Courses offered by Distance Education Center for SK University. Sir used to be University Placement Officer and provided about 250 job placements for undergraduate undergraduate and postgraduate students of Dravidian University, Kuppam, through organizing campus placement programs by inviting the number of renowned the companies in India. Received a UGC Research Award in '98 for conducting research in the area of quality of work life in Indian organizations. Resource person in training program for Mandal Revenue Officers of Anantapur district, sponsored by the government of Andhra Pradesh under Public Systems Group. Responsible in getting ISET 2010 Center for Dravidian University, Kuppam, for the academic year 2010 to 11 to conduct entrance test for admission into MBA and MCA course across the state of Andhra Pradesh. Training consultant for Hindalco in 2009 and 10. One BOLT Award, BOLT Award in 2004, instituted jointly by the Deccan Chronicle Group, Air India and Singapore Tourism Board for excellence in student outreach activities. And sir is a professional member in various associations such as Life Member of Indian Institute of Public Administration, Life Member of Indian Society for Training and Development, Life Member of the National HRD Network, Hyderabad. And sir had visited many abroad countries. He had underwent a language training course in Portuguese at BRLITZ Center, that is Berlich Center, Frankfurt, Germany, from 9th to 14th April 95, sponsored by the Rotary Foundation, Ivanson, USA. Visited the streets of Lagos, the Bahia and Sergipe in the Federative Republic of Brazil between 95 under the group study exchange program organized by the Rotary Foundation of USA. Visited Muscat, Oman during 2019 to attend the International Conference of Banking, Finance and Business. And recently, sir was being honored by our Andhra Pradesh State University Best Teacher Award. That's in 2019 at Vizianagaram on the 5th of September. And sir had received University Grants Commission Research Award also in the year 99, and Bolt Award of Outlook Teacher District Award, sponsored by the Air India and all those. This is what I briefed out the profile of Professor Panatula Murali Krishna sir. There's a lot more to deliver, but our participants and myself are eagerly awaiting for you to listen from your esteemed speech, sir. Thank you, sir.
Can I start?
Okay, sir, you can start, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sridevi, for giving me the opportunity to share my views on the impact of COVID-19 on Industry 4.0, with particular reference to human resources in the organizations. I'm also thankful to all the viewers. Some of them appear to be my students, and Dr. Sridevi herself was my colleague in Dravidian University, where I worked for a short stint. Nevertheless, I am thankful to Professor Venkataramanaya, Professor Munnarayanappa, and Professor Srivastava of Hyderabad Central University, who presented yesterday, day before, and the day before yesterday on different themes. So taking motivation from them, I thought I can also build up some confidence in sharing some of my ideas on the changes that have occurred across the country, across the world rather, in recent times. Before I start, I express my sincere thanks to the Vice Chancellor of JNTUK Kakinada, the principal of JNTU Vizianagaram College principal, and all the faculty members of JNTU College of Engineering Vizianagaram for making this presentation successful. Let me quickly get on to the topic. COVID, COVID, COVID. Everywhere COVID. A week back, I was talking to one of my friends in Brazil. I thought the situation would be different there because in rest of all the activities that we have seen till now, in a span of 58 years, I have seen there were not much of similarities between one society to the other, between one nation to the other. But when I was talking to this lady from Brazil, she was also sharing the same kind of a feeling, the impact of COVID on human life. So then I realized probably first time in my life so far, I have seen one event, one pandemic or one phenomenon that is affecting the lives of people across the world. Look at the situation. This is really very, very interesting. One side, we are fearful of protecting ourselves from corona. On the other side, for academicians and also researchers across, of course, all the kinds of the people, industry, students, general life, general public, laborers, most pathetically. And everywhere, everyone is affected by, including the small children, affected by this pandemic. So there is, I hardly can say there is any exception which is exempted by this pandemic and its impact. Fine, when Dr. Sridevi was asking me, I thought this is a new dimension. Till today, I have been talking about for more than 30 years on different topics of HRM or maybe varied topics in quality, this, that, and everything. But today it seems to be totally taking a U-turn in our focus with a small virus which is creating havoc across the world. This itself must be motivation to all of us in thinking and rethinking as how this is going to create a kind of influence on human living. Human living here, I mean, includes everything, everything. Our professional life, our personal life, our industry life, our government, everything is changing. Then, what is that I thought, okay, when Dr. Sridevi was asking me to share my views on Industry 4.0, then I thought maybe I can share some of my slides which would give you a clear picture about. Just a minute. Yeah. This is what I thought. Okay, let me share. Look at the present situation today. The situation is bit slightly different, but our approach has to be much bigger than the situation that is created by pandemic. When you look at the present situation across the country, my first slide, of course, my first slide talks about approximately 8.27 lakh job aspirants registered with Delhi government's Rozgar Bazaar. Punjab to hire 2,984 more health professionals, and 30% of students through campus placement across India to join work virtually. This is quote and unquote, virtually is very, very important as the conditions prevail today. Microsoft, it's still offering 44 lakhs per annum remuneration to one of the students from VJIT Mumbai for the year 2020-21. Look at the situation. 3 out of 4 firms believe that they can effectively hire employees remotely. MNCs to start hiring staff online on contractual basis. So when you look at this brief, the situation, there are a number of issues. I just picked up a few for our discussion, which is not very important, but still this becomes the base for further discussion in the time to come. Okay, when you look at all these 6 observations, you would find that employees or professionals or people who desires to work are getting ready to work virtually, that is online. Why this online game? The most important and the only reason is pandemic's effect. Physical distancing, and we know all those things. Government success, the governments, both the center and state, have been continuously informing the general public to maintain distance and use masks and so on and so forth. And we know about the impact of corona, because from March onwards we have witnessed, and everyone for that matter, right? Now the question is, if that is the situation which is continuously prevailing, and in my expectation, this would go a long way. The impact, the impact of corona will have a longevity kind of an impact on the human living. So therefore, employees are not exception here. In this kind of a situation, even I am also changing. All these years, I am very comfortable, used to talking to my students in their physical presence, in the classroom, getting in the morning, taking attendance book and calling the roll numbers, taking attendance and preparing slides, preparing PPTs, displaying them on screen, writing something on the board, making the students who are physically present in the class rather, it's not a habit, it is rather got into our kind of work culture. Culture is such a strong one. It takes it takes a long period to change our culture. So I would stress upon one point here. It is not only the corona is not only creating impact on our lives, but at the same time on our culture also. Culture is getting changed. It has to change. There is no other option. So now, when my work culture is something more of 90% of physical and only 10% of remote, it is now reversed because of this pandemic. So when you look at all these 6 points, you would understand that there is no death. For one thing, there is absolutely employment market is still there. One thing. Companies are coming forward. Companies are changing their culture and coming forward in employing people. And the third important point is people and organizations have to get the habit of working virtually. Maybe I would bring in a very good concept of everyone knows about it, work from home. So this is becoming the concept. This kind of a new practice which is taking a U-turn in our lifestyles is the one that is created by this pandemic. Okay, when you look at all this, fine, one would definitely get a feeling that yes, from here afterwards we have to work from home, we have to work online, we have to work virtually for the benefit of us and benefit of the organization. Then I must say a couple of things, my observations here. Every organization, every industry, every sector across the world got affected by this corona, number one. Number two, more so, simultaneously, there are developments in the industry side also, across the world again, not just limited to India. This is, we started from 4.0, 1, 2, and now we are 4.0 situation. I'll come to that for what is 4.0. But before that, let me say that this industries are changing one side because of corona. On the other side, there are tremendous developments with regard to the functioning of organizations, which includes industries across the world, even in the absence of corona. That's what I mean, right? There are two parallel lines. These two are going and they would join somewhere in some railway station. Definitely. This has to be. So now the question is, what are those industries or sectors which are affected by corona? One thing is every industry, every sector is affected. And second thing is there is the corona's impact is there on all the industries, but some of the industries and sectors are able to change. And to my knowledge, some sectors and industries cannot change at all. That is also because the other side of the coin we must see. Fine. What we have understood till now is there is an impact, and this impact is bound to create a lot of changes in our lifestyles, a lot of changes in our working conditions, a lot of changes in our physical conditions, including the organizations, and also a lot of changes in terms of our practices that are going to come. But it is quite interesting on the other side. There are two industries in my mind which are worst affected equally to that of others, and at the same time cannot recoup, cannot change themselves suiting to the impact of corona. Those two are, I think some of you must have imagined by now. One is tourism, other one is hospitality. Hospitality cannot be provided virtually, right? You will not really enjoy sitting here on a computer screen and say that I have booked a room in the Taj Hotel from here. That's not possible at all. And the second important one is if I want to see Ellora, because due to this pandemic impact, I cannot see Ellora or Taj Mahal or anything. And if I see it is only virtually and it doesn't create any kind of impact or joy or pleasure or satisfaction to me. There could be there could be other sectors which must have been affected and unable to like adjust to this pandemic impact. But to my mind, I just could gather these two sectors which are drastically affected, and they are now almost I say dead, unless otherwise there is a zero effect. Unless otherwise we come to a situation where this pandemic's effect is zero, is nil. Till then, to the best of my knowledge, I feel these two sectors are the worst affected. Name any other. At least some way or the other, they are finding way to get out of this situation and continue. Right? Now, what is this industry 4.0? 1.0 is there, and then industry 2.0, which talks about mass production and electricity, and 3.0 talked about systems infusion, and industry 4.0 talks about cyber physical systems. Okay, now look at what is all this. Just briefly, let me talk about this. The manufacturing, we started the industrial revolution way back in 1800s. Industrial revolution started, which talked about mechanization and steam and water water power, and then we moved on to 2.0, mass production and use of electricity, and 3.0 talks about system infusion and so on, and 4.0 talks about cyber physical systems, which means that there's a blend of advanced analytics, big data, robotics, automation, AI, that is artificial intelligence, and IoT. These are the things which are ruling parallelly the industry today. I am using the word parallelly because one side pandemic's effect, on the other side industry have already gone into implementing industry 4.0. So now the present situation is due to mass production, due to automation, and due to the growing demand across the world. We understand through globalization, India has become part of a global market. So in this global market, India cannot be an exception in terms of like producing the goods and using the consuming the goods for domestic purposes. But it is everything, even in a neighbor to my university, if any organization is there, it will always have the global market in its focus while manufacturing the products, while establishing the systems, while implementing the procedures, practices, everything. What it means to us is any product manufactured in any corner of the world will always have the focus of global market, will always have the focus on global market, always have the focus on changes in the global market. If I am producing one product in the place where I am sitting, that is Anantapur, I would always keep in mind the customer expectations of the expectations of a customer from a country like Brazil, country like America, country like Europe. This is the order of the day. So therefore, the industry 4.0 on one side is a blend of advanced analytics, big data, robotics, automation, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. When you look at all this, simply an MBA cannot run the organization. As the other day, Professor Venkatramana was saying, simply a doctor cannot be a successful doctor without the support of advanced analytics, without at least having a sound knowledge in advanced analytics, big data, robotics, automation, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, so on and so forth, which is total digitization across the business. So whatever he said, I'm just repeating the same in case of industry in general. Industry in general, if an MBA goes with, yes, I am specialized in HR, therefore I am ready to work and bring the organization to its highest, to its heights. No, it's not possible unless otherwise these support systems are used by you. That means the organizations do not require any specialists, but do require generalists who have sound knowledge, not only in their area, but also in the areas of requirement by Industry 4.0. Right? This is what it means. Okay, one side, now we are clear with Industry 4.0. On the other side, we are also clear with pandemic 19. Now the next situation is, this is what the Industry 4.0, which I already talked about. I think my slides would be useful to you later. Right, now look at, I am bringing both together now. One side, digitization, that is Industry 4.0. On the other side, the impact of Corona. Look at the points here. A colossal disruption all over the globe, especially in Europe, China, US, India, and many developed countries. That's what I said. Completely disruptions, total disruption across the world. And which includes everything, absolutely. There is no exception to Corona. Everyone is a common man to it. Now, the production supply chains have been massively disturbed. Absolutely. That's what I said. How this is possible? Particularly production and supply chain. Production, because it requires physical presence of worker, and therefore the Industry 4.0 is going to help the organization, will come to the rescue of organizations in making the production process smooth. Same is the supply chain. There are some companies today which are ready to supply their goods online through the supply chain, through the effective supply chains. And the same companies were invisible in supplying the goods and services to the customers in the past. Because today, the companies, even small or big, are now coming forward online, even to meet the small requirements in the market. Yesterday, I have placed an order with one of the smallest companies in Bangalore, very small. It was almost a negligible company. And they told me that, sir, till now, we are supplying the product only to big, shopping chain of shops, like Reliance and Walmart, D-Mart, this and all that. But this is the first time now we are coming direct contact with the direct customer. Look at the kind of a situation. So even a small company located in Bangalore or elsewhere, anywhere, is now ready to use this supply chain and logistics effectively and doesn't mind reaching to one single customer. Maybe my order would be not yesterday I ordered for 2000 rupees. That's a very small amount as far as the company is concerned. But yet companies are coming forward. That means totally the supply chains were disturbed, production processes were disturbed. By using the advantages of Industry 4.0, even small companies which have ignored this 4.0 conditions earlier, still following the conventional methods of the production and the distribution of products, are now using, are now bound to, or maybe are now forced to use all the advantages of Industry 4.0. So this is how it is coming up. Now, look at, it is estimated that a significant number of Fortune 1000 firms have been severely affected by this pandemic. Not only 1000, I would say not only Fortune 1000, but every small organization, including textile weavers, having their production process domestically. That is, it is a completely home industry, I can say. Even these home industries have suffered a lot. Then India's industry is mostly conventional and the market is almost domestic. This is the characteristic of India. So even this has been affected by pandemic. Doing more with less is the mantra in the post-corona world. The example that I gave about the order that I have placed clearly tells that you do more with the customer with less in terms of expenditure also. Fine. Now, continuing the impact of COVID-19 on Industry 4.0. Opportunities to build capabilities and explore new international markets are the need of the hour. Because once, even for a small organization, once the market is global, then it can reach anywhere. It can reach the customer from anywhere to anywhere. The production and the productivity will drastically come down as the suppliers of raw materials and the product customers are highly disturbed. Okay, this is the impact of COVID-19. The demand will remain increased, but the supply chain and logistics will be highly disturbed or disrupted, untapping this demand. The demand remains the same. It is growing and growing. But there is a link that is cut between the organizations and the market. Therefore, that link was earlier supply chain at a low profile, and now Industry 4.0 enhances that kind of a characteristic between the surplus supplier and the market, and therefore be able to build up a strong relation, a strong kind of nexus between the market and the supplier. Right? Now, one of the biggest visible impacts of virus has been on the organizations and the nature of workplaces. Now slowly let us get into, okay, if this is the kind of a situation, now we have to sum up so far, we have talked about like there is a definite impact of Corona or COVID-19 on industry. And on the other side, industry, the COVID-19 also impacted the Industry 4.0 in restructuring. When I'm talking about big data, or I'm talking about the supply chain, or I'm talking about artificial intelligence, now I have to redefine, restructure, re-implement the restructured artificial intelligence or big data or whatever that in terms of COVID-19. This is what is required now. Okay, let us see what kind of now, because of this impact, now I just narrow down on my presentation on the COVID-19 and its impact on HR. In the light of that is that industry 4.0 would be at the background, and then taking lessons from industry 4.0, I would now try to make a comparison or make an analysis, make a small presentation on the impact of COVID-19 on what are the different HR practices. The virus has increased the emphasis on the human connect. It is absolutely, as I said earlier, that it has disrupted the lives of every individual in the world. So as the employees. The disruptions are likely to offer new models of working. Now we can't survive without working, or maybe we have to survive, whether it is COVID-19, whether it is flu, whether it is dengue, or whether it is anything that impacted the world across, but still we have to survive. So for survival, we have to work. And for working, we have to develop new models with the impact of COVID-19. What are those new models? We will come to that. Increased degree of dependence on technology, adoption, and digitalization becomes more significant. So this is a perfect connection between Industry 4.0 and the changes of working models of employees within the organization today. So practices such as, till now we have been talking about, this is something like the concepts are very appear to be conventional in nature. Somebody was saying like there was a recent presentation of PhD thesis on job satisfaction. Imagine, the concept is very well known to us. It is very like old concept, and if any PhD is produced on this particular theme and this particular concept, people generally do not give a serious thought to it, because the concept has been well said, well practiced across the world by all the organizations. But what is happening here is concept remains the same, but the approach and the model would change. Like sometime back in 1960s and 70s, we talked about total quality. So when total quality concept came in, it spread and influenced all the existing concepts of human resources, such as recruitment, job analysis, job design, staffing, training, performance appraisal, everything. So therefore, we started looking at a new dimension, a new focus in practicing the old concept of recruitment, staffing, training and development, performance appraisal, everything, organization development and all, in the light of quality enhancement. Right? In some cases, we have brought in new kind of concepts like instead of performance appraisal, which is more mechanical and routine, we brought in performance management with a managerial focus, with a totally quality focus on it. So there are some kind of concepts which have taken extensions, some concepts revamped themselves or restructured them, redefined themselves, but the concept, name of the concept remaining the same. So therefore, look at all the one fundamental understanding here is all the concepts which are erstwhile concepts, which are existing concepts of HR will remain the same. That's what my summation is. All the concepts that we have been using models we have been using, strategies we have been using, and everything techniques that we have been using will remain the same almost, except in some cases. But then what is new because of this pandemic COVID-19 is in their approach, in their strategy, in their functioning, in their application. For example, recruitment. Recruitment, you know the definition. Fine. How do you procure the prospective employees? How do you get the data about prospective employees? Earlier, we used to give the applications, maybe online. So you used to get all that and then sort out, call them for interview, or maybe ask them this and that. Everything was done. But today, it is not the situation. Of course, some companies have gone in the recent times, have gone engaging middlemen, firms in the middle to do this entire background activity for them, consultants. And now the question is, there would not be any kind of consultant role to play much on this. As in the case of a company ready to go to the customer in serving their products physically, physical products virtually. In case of recruitment also, organizations are ready to talk to the prospective employees directly. That means now, if this is the kind of a situation or the impact created by COVID-19, then what are the new practices? How I have to change the very focus of this concept called a recruitment. Similarly, in case of more visibly, the training and development concept. Now, I must say that for more than 5 months, I am sitting idle at home. Probably this is the first time in my 30 years of service that I have not moved out of my place. For more than 5 months. This is the kind of impact COVID-19, not only on me, on everybody. Now, as a training consultant, as a trainer, how would I define my training and consultancy in such a way that I still have connectivity with the trainees through the organizations, through the organization customers, or the organizations who are my customers? This is the question. Now, training and development concept will remain the same. But now I have to define as to how best I can change myself in terms of my attitude, in terms of my focus, in terms of my knowledge, in terms of my kind of the stuff that I have for different people across the world. And one good thing that COVID-19 created for me is now there is no physical exhaustion. And at this point of time, maybe it is relevant, but still, before I forget, let me just share this with you. Road accidents have come down, except here and there, because no buses are flying, no trains are moving, no flights are there. That means the transport industry is almost at the bottom level. So there is increased safety of people because they are staying at home. But earlier, we used to worry if anybody goes out of home, the people at home used to worry till they come back about their safety because of the road condition, because of the speed, because of the type of vehicles and the technology that is imbibed into the vehicles, and etc., etc. But now we are not hearing about many accidents day in and day out. This is one one advantage. There are advantages, there are disadvantages of COVID-19. Absolutely. If any phenomenon influences human life, there would always be positives and negatives. And my life is more safe and secure. On the other side, I am putting in weight because there is no work, boredom. So in this situation, from this kind of an environment, how should I emerge again in the limelight as I was earlier? Is the point. So therefore, as a training consultant, I would definitely look for developing new strategies, new models, new methods of attracting and retaining my customers, the organizations who are my customers, through them retaining my the trainee target, the trainees. That portion is also there. So therefore, this is now I have to use. Now I started understanding and then implementing the models of Industry 4.0 today. HR functions are to be redefined. That's what I said. Are redefined with emphasis of human safety and physical distancing. Maintaining these two, I have to develop a new model, a new method of that is useful to me in continuing my work, continuing my service as a training and development consultant. Okay, now the question of trust, confidence, and dependence and involvement have to be monitored remotely. Earlier, I used to see the employees sitting in my class or the trainees sitting in my class, observing them, whether they are really interested, are they really showing interest, are they involved in what I am saying, and there is a physical observation. But today, everything, all this trust, confidence, observation, then understanding the feelings, understanding any kind of a thing about the trainees with regard to their stuff they are, that means training stuff they are maintaining, and asking them questions, giving them clarifications, getting responses from them, and then checking myself with regard to my performance and my effectiveness in the training process, etc. All those things are to be done through Industry 4.0 kind of. So I will have to use artificial intelligence, IoT, Internet of Things, big data, all these things I need to now monitor, not just to understand trust, confidence, dependence, satisfaction, involvement, etc., etc. of my training. So when this is the case with a simple activity like a training and development, understand that big organizations, global organizations across the world, how they should develop and what type of models they have to develop with regard to managing their HR, with regard to managing at a macro level, managing their entire operations, in continue to have that connectivity with the increased in satisfying the increased demand in the market. Because ultimately that should that should happen. When I produce a product, it must reach the needy, whether in India or elsewhere, anywhere. So therefore, in the fear of health loss, the employees of organizations are cautioned to follow safety, hygiene practices, hospital services, isolation, and quarantine issues. Now look at, never before HR function concentrated on quarantine issue, leave about other isolation and quarantine issue. They are the two additions into the total functioning of human resources department with regard to worker welfare and safety. Of course, safety is there. Hygiene has been practiced earlier also. Hospital services were there earlier, but isolation and quarantine issues were not, they were not even understood. They were not even imagined by organizations earlier. Now, because of COVID-19, they are bound to talk about these two more than the hygiene practices, safety and hospital services today, because it is better to be in isolation rather than providing excellent services in the hospital for a COVID patient. Right? Absolutely. Because health is important more than medical. Absolutely. There is no doubt about it. That's a fact. And now, keeping the organization premises disinfected and hygienic has become the prime concern. So, this kind of impact of COVID-19 on HR is taking a different dimension now, concentrating more on hygienic. All the organizations, though they were maintaining hygienic standards, and I'm very frank in saying that many of the companies concentrated on maintaining this hygienic up to the level of legal satisfaction only. Today, it has become a more a concern than satisfying the legal provisions mentioned in different acts. Providing human safety gadgets such as masks, sanitizers, gloves have become the main function of industry than anything else. Now, continuing the impact of COVID-19 on HR. Keeping employees safe, engaged, not just safe. You keep employees safe, fine, no problem. You take all measures, fine. At the same time, I will have to make sure that they are engaged, motivated, engaged, and then producing goods. They will have to be helpful to me also. I can't just simply say that because I have to protect them, therefore I protect them, then afterwards forget them. It can't be that. I have to keep the employees safe, but at the same time continue to engage them, motivate them, therefore they become the important contributors to the organization, because ultimately organizations have to roll on, they have to move on, otherwise it is very difficult. Okay, work from home with minimal staff is the significant. Now I come to the crux of it, right? My first slide talks about like as how many people are while talking about the present situation, many MNCs are ready to hire staff online to work from home. So work from home concept was just a dream earlier, was just limited only to few employees in software organizations. But today it has become a kind of universal in nature. Every organization, every sector, including small children going to schools, study from home. Only thing is that word has changed. The rest of thing is the same. Spirit and practice is the same. Now, okay, work from home means now the third thing has entered into. That third thing is Industry 4.0. Right? All the stuff available in 4.0 are to be necessarily brought in to make every employee work from home and continue to contribute to the organization's goals and objectives. Then HR and related information systems will be impacted to play a key role in redefining workplace. What is the workplace today? And I also expect that the real estate in terms of commercial activity. That means I can say commercial real estate will drastically come down. I heard, I have no data to support my statement, but still I'm forcing, I have observed that many companies, particularly the software companies, are now vacating their physical locations. Like, for example, if one can say Cyberabad, number of software organizations are there. But all these organizations almost are now thinking of, because when it is global, when everything is work from home, why should I have an office? Why should I pay more rents? Why should I pay? Why should I engage? There is another problem also. Not only it's again impact of COVID-19 that no employee is coming. Everything is online. Therefore, why should I have a physical location of my office? One thing. And the second thing is I cannot manage the transport, bringing in employees and taking them back and all that. So transport is not there. As I said in the beginning, transport is the worst affected. So therefore, transport is nil. When no employee is coming, why should I have office, physical office, paying lakhs and lakhs of rupees per month on electricity and then on as rent? So therefore, slowly these companies, because again the cost saving is always the objective of organization. So as far as possible, these organizations are coming down in terms of reducing their physical locations across the world, having only one or two, maybe three or four, depending on the size of the company. They have different locations in different places across the world, and monitoring the work from home performance of employees from there online. Now this online is again industry 4.0, right? This is the condition. Now the similar is the impact on HR also. And I would like to, as a teacher, say that when I start my subject in HRM, the basics of HRM, or maybe HRD concept, which is a specialization paper, I start the semester with the introduction and of course roll down all the kinds of stuff. And when I come to human resource accounting and human resource information systems, the focus has been all these years, the focus has been less when compared to focus on training and development in the classrooms. I'm talking about the classroom situation, right? Now coming back, today's situation is different. Let me not talk about what is training and development, but I have to invariably talk about what are the information systems, maybe artificial intelligence, maybe IoT, maybe anything, or whatever the stuff that is included in the industry 4.0, that is going to be helpful to me and also to my students in understanding rest of the concepts more effectively and easily because of the situation prevailing today. I think you can understand this, right? This is how the total things have changed. Okay, now related information systems, what I mean is that the focus will be more on information systems that are supportive in making all my HR, other HR functions more effective today. As organizations get more comfortable with employees working remotely, now organizations are changing their vision. And all these 4 days, I have not moved out of my house. I'm getting bored because absolutely almost there is no day without going to the department till now, without going to my workplace, without talking to my students. The end of the day, there was no satisfaction without doing all this. But today, okay, all these 4 months, maybe this is a like a period, a gap period. I am trying to change myself because ultimately I have to deliver the goods, whether it is physical or online. I have to deliver the goods. That's my job. For the next 5-6 years, I will have to do this job. And those who have just started their career now, or those who are in the middle of the career, it is a completely a U-turn for them. For people like Dr. Sridevi and all, it is completely a U-turn. Half of their period, maybe 30% of period is like a physical presence and then eye-to-eye contact with the students. And now it is going to be totally different. Right? Okay. Now I will have to get comfortable myself. I will have to change myself in making comfortable for myself in talking to my students remotely. The requirement for office space and fixed workstations may reduce. That's what I said. They reduce drastically. Now, what is that I have to do? Okay, this is all this I have said is impact on fine, impact on organizations, impact on HR, impact on human life, impact on the general society across the world. Fine. Now, with regard to HR area, what are that I have to do? Opportunities to build capabilities and explore new international markets are the need of the hour. So I will have to train my employees in such a way that their vision should be global. Their approach should be global. They should be ready to face any kind of a complaint or criticism or anything from any corner of the world. Let the noble thoughts come from different corners of the universe. There is a saying in Sanskrit. Right? The same thing is now happening. As a point of reference, now I feel, I think we are trying to reinfuse or re-involve all those practices which were for safety of human living, which were done, which were practiced earlier by our forefathers, maybe 2-3 generations ago. So pandemic 19, COVID-19, maybe it is for me it senses that it is reminding all of us for the worst thing, for the worst contribution of human beings on environment and etc., polluting it and everything. Now COVID-19 has come and it is reminding human beings that yes, you have done a mistake. Go back to your older generations. Go back to the practices. Implement those practices which were practiced earlier by your earlier generations. Maybe that. It could be. Right? So therefore, my production processes, I have to train my skill, improve the skills of my employees. I think in the training and development function, the component of, or maybe the degree of involvement of the component of skill may drastically increase. Skill upgradation, skill enhancement, skill development, reskilling, all these would become, they would take the prime seat in the training and development function, rather than just looking at effectiveness of making a training more effective, making the trainees involved in feedback and such kind of things. So concept remains the same, but our focus would be different. Our model would be different. Our approach would be different. Our strategy would be different altogether. So work from home become immediate solution. Everywhere, every organization must start following this. Then agility, creativity, flexibility. These are the attributes demonstrated by HR in lockdown scenario. So my training, my focus as a superior on the subordinate would be how to make them more creative through online. how to make them more flexible to the work situation, work kind of a, work practices and so on, so that they would contribute more online by maintaining the level of agility, creativity, flexibility as it was earlier. HR functions stepped up to transform brick and mortar offices into virtual workplaces almost. Action plan 2. Many organizations went the extra mile to help employees handle stress by setting up online classes. So online counseling, online classes, and taking taking care of or watching the employees' well-being on motivation online is the order of the day. So regular disinfection of premises, offices, buses, if there are any. There are some buses which are within the local restricted areas and the colonies. Some organizations, for example, companies like BHEL, BEL and all, they have developed along the side, the industry, they developed big colonies for safety and happy living of their employees. And they will have to take care of that now. The procurement of masks, hand washes, sanitizers, okay, all these things are important. Okay, many of the drivers required for global manufacturing competitiveness are in India's favor now. What are the drivers? What are the global manufacturing drivers that are? For example, if you take recently, Professor was talking about the healthcare industry, one thing. And second thing is the manufacturing industry, manufacturing organizations. How to, now the question is how to improve the competitiveness of these manufacturing, global manufacturing organizations which are existing across, and what kind of a support that India can give to them. The main thing is software. India is the biggest software in the world, obviously. Now, till now, it was limited only to organization outside the outside India in supporting their logistics, but today in supporting their manufacturing process also. More importantly, to this context, supporting their human resource requirements also, the India has more sufficient and vibrant information technology industries, information technology companies within the industry that can support the global HR requirements, global manufacturing requirements of organizations across the world today within the parameter or within the maybe environment of industry 4.0. So these drivers are talent, competitive, cost competitiveness, workforce productivity, supplier network. These are the drivers which are highly characterized with regard to Indian software organization. So they would continue to have utilize a higher level of talent existing in India, higher level of cost competitive strategies existing, models existing in India, or maybe workforce productivity models, and all those are available with Indian software organizations much more. Therefore, now these things can be disseminated, shared, and distributed. Maybe they distributed, helping the global organizations. So now, in summation, I would like to talk about, like briefly, about there is no individual tailor-made model or a strategy with regard to practice of new dimensions of HR functions as of today. But as the demands emerging from the organizations in understanding the necessities in creating new HR models, new strategies, new practices with regard to HR functions, or maybe with regard to manufacturing in general, every organization must be taken as case specific in designing the new models and strategies. Therefore, this presentation cannot really talk about one specific model which can be used generally, which can be used commonly or across the organization. Hence, my presentation is focused on 3-4 things. Number one is the present situation and the impact of Corona on the industry within the environment of Industry 4.0 and how this 4.0 is also being affected. And then the focus on HR activities, as what are the different dimensions and what are the different areas and functions that are impacted by COVID-19 and what is necessitating us. And now again repeating that these new models cannot be developed without kind of without understanding the case specific situation to the organization. Okay, with this I stop my presentation because it is 11:40 and another I suppose another 20 minutes is for kind of the interaction, and with the limited knowledge I have, I just like brought up some points together to share my ideas on how I visualize the impact of COVID-19 on HR and industry. And there would be, I'm sure, there would be, the participants will have more information. Therefore, I consider this kind of an opportunity as a sharing of information and knowledge between you and me, and between you and me and me and you. Okay. I thank Dr. Sridevi for giving me this opportunity again to share my views. Thank you very much. Thank you, JNTUK Kakinada. Thank you.
Sir,
thank you all viewers.
Sir, there are some queries, sir.
Yeah.
Participants.
Yeah.
The present situation in education field, sir.
Present situation in
education field.
Education field. Of course, that is very interesting topic to me. But the topic that was given by you was impact of COVID-19 on HR under Industry 4.0. Therefore, I prepared all this.
Okay, sir.
Fine. Education would also, that's what I said in the beginning. There is no one, there is nothing that is not created any impact by COVID-19. Education with regard to today, the situation is totally different. You are the drivers that we use in delivering inputs to the students has become different. My classroom situation is different. My stuff that I prepare for a lecture would be different. And today, probably that kind of a human touch. This is Mr. X, this is Dr. Appal Raju, this is Sridevi, and I have good relations with them. I speak to them like my children. They are very empathetic to me. All these kinds of things will get away. There is a clear distance. This cannot be filled by anybody, number one. Number two, sensing the feelings. It is always, I have been continuously telling in every class that I go that a regular classroom teaching is entirely different from distance education. Number one. I was not showing much interest in case of involving myself in distance education or maybe uh, online kind of a situation, because a teacher should always have taught in front of him. That's the kind of the practice we developed all these years. But today the situation is really difficult. But at the same time, the advantage of COVID-19 is like me and the viewers now. I will have the large kind of students base across the world today. That will give me, that will increase my responsibility as a teacher. That will also increase my scope further, widen my scope, my viewers base. Now here it is viewer, and in case of training it is the trainee, and in case of student it is the student. That kind of a feeling is absent now. Now student will become the viewer, student will become just an online participant, trainee will become just an online participant. The kind of a spirit that we carry on with these words like a student or a trainee, all this will get away. So therefore, there are number of such kind of like issues, and preparing the syllabus. Syllabi, now earlier we used to sit and discuss and then like bring in the issues, or maybe change the syllabi there, then and there itself. Today that situation is very remote. So everything, preparing the syllabus, preparing material, delivering the goods, evaluation of the student performance, evaluation of teacher performance, and issue of certificates. Everything is becoming online now. There is absolutely no human touch. There is absolutely no like a physical contact of teacher and student. So we need to develop. This will create a lot of impact, not only on higher education, but the same thing is happening at the primary education level also. That means education across, not only in Andhra Pradesh, not only in India, it is for the entire world. Everything is changing. Now, as teachers, we own the more responsibility in developing, particularly in higher education and research. Research is very, very sensitive area where the teacher and student, here only two people are there, guide and the research scholar. This is becoming very difficult again. Even if the single research scholar is there, maintaining that physical distance, in spite of maintaining the physical distance, still there are chances that COVID-19 may impact on the health of both of them. So therefore, including that research activity also, one has to be very careful in developing new models and very much be involved in bringing new models. That has to be there. In the due course of time, maybe I will also be involved in building a new model. So far, we have not thought of it. It is just a primitive stage. And from here afterwards, our lifestyle, our presentation, our working and everything is going to completely change, not only in terms of practice, but also in terms of my work culture. Everything is going to change not for a short period. It is for, maybe I sense it is for permanent nature. So if it is going to be permanent in nature, then I think we will have to start building up new models and building up new methods and all that within the environment of Industry 4.0. Okay, next.
Any queries from participants? Any queries?
Good morning.
It's not audible, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Rajiv Kumar.
He is from?
Yes, I am audible.
No, it's not audible.
Where is he from? Sridevi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you just hear his query and tell me. I will respond.
Okay, sir. No, sir. Sir, Rajiv Kumar sir has unmuted, but it's not audible. Prasanna Yadav sir, any queries? Any queries from the participants?
There is a saying, if there are no questions, maybe that all the viewers have not got anything what I said, or
Sir,
they got
sir,
completely
is it
everything
audible now?
what I said.
Hello.
Yeah, now it is audible.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Murali Krishna, sir. I'm a research scholar from NITI Mumbai. My name is Rajiv Kumar.
Okay.
And it's my pleasure to share you that I'm your student, MBA 2015-17 batch in SK University.
Oh.
And
2000?
Yes. 15 to 17 batch, sir.
15, 17. Oh, very good. Rajiv, tell me.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes, sir. Sir, yeah, I'm fine, sir. I'm fine, sir. How are you doing, sir?
Fine. Please share with me your mobile number. I'll be in contact with you.
Unmute.
Sort of.
Sir, unmute yourself, sir. Rajiv Kumar sir.
Yes.
It's not audible.
Now.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, clearly shown packing plan. This line that it told HR functions step to transform brick and mortar.
It's not audible. Make it clear, sir.
Sridevi.
Sir.
Abhay, my student,
okay, sir.
You just give my number. Ask him to call me. That would be better.
Okay,
because I am
sir.
unable to hear him.
Yes, sir. Sir, Rajiv Kumar, sir, are you able to hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now yes, it is clear. If you want to speak, you can speak.
Yes, ma'am. So, sir, it is written in your presentation that HR functions stepped up to transform brick and mortar offices into virtual workplaces almost overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Sir, when it comes to an organization, operations guy can perform his work from his home, and like a technical guy who is a software engineer can perform his work from his home. When it comes to a HR manager, things are very different. So he has some other role which is related to somehow psychological experience, like observing the situation. For example, if some employees feel very stressful, how can a HR manager can console him and guide him to relieve from the stress? So I mean, I would like to receive an insight to this that will be beneficial for me.
Ma, Sridevi.
Sir. Okay, sir.
What is his question?
Sir, Rajiv Kumar, sir.
మీరు చెప్పండి ఏమది బ్రిక్ అండ్ మోటార్ గురించి ఏదో చెప్తున్నాడు.
He had asked about the HR function stepped up to transform brick and mortar offices into virtual workplaces almost overnight. About that situation he had asked you, sir.
Okay.
And how come this HR? Sir, make it clear, sir. Rajiv Kumar, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, when it comes to deal the stress of an employee virtually, how it can be done at this moment? That's what my question.
Okay. You are talking about stress.
Yes, how to mitigate the stress of employee.
Yes, a software employee can perform his work through virtual mode, and operations guy can do it. But to a HR manager, he wants to observe the facial expressions of a person. So how he can cope up with this?
One thing is through video conferencing, one can have a kind of not 100%. To some extent, one can understand the feelings of employees. Number one, facial feelings of stress in an employee. One. Second thing is these type of the abstract kind of the issues like stress or like feelings and all that, they need to be a bit difficult, and the organizations have to develop new models, maybe giving them some exercise, psychometric exercises, and asking them to do it online, or giving them some kind of online motivational classes or meditation or things like that, and then keep on observing. And now what organizations are doing with regard to these issues is that they are engaging the consultants in between, such as those training or training consultants who are experts in the area of employee motivation, employee stress management, maybe employee kind of the meditation and the psychological yoga, and these kind of the consultants are being engaged by organizations in understanding their feelings, in understanding and reducing the stress levels among employees. I think when people work from home, comparatively to that of people working in a physical presence, the stress will be comparatively at a lower level, because the physical comfort while performing work from home will be more, physical comfort will be more when compared to working physically in the organization's locations. So that itself will might reduce to some extent. Maybe the nature of work and its pressure on the employee may create more stress on them, and that can be solved through these the things that I have said, like organizations engaging consultants and asking the consultants to like apply some psychometric or psychological models and yoga, meditation, and these things on employees through online, and then trying to reduce their stress. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir. It's very informative. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, there is one more question in the chat box. Due to virtual teaching, the effectiveness of research will be affected. How to make it more informed?
Right. As such, it is becoming a okay. Anyway, let us suppose that research work in the pre-COVID-19 period was more effective, right? And now, in the post-COVID-19 situation, how this effectiveness can be maintained or maybe improved further. For a research, the fundamental one is there must be highest level of interest, involvement in both the researcher and the guide. That is mandatory, whether it is pre-COVID or post-COVID. That's when there is such kind of seriousness, whether you are online or offline, it does not make any change. It does not make any impact. I am talking about the real thing, real research that should be there. Whether I am here or my research scholar is elsewhere, if these things are remaining in both of us, seriousness, interest, involvement, the things will move on. Let us think what are the functions of the researcher and guide. The guide gives directions, maybe suggestions, maybe guidance in general, like pick up these journals, go to these libraries, design your research in one particular form and all these things. And these guidelines are existing even in the pre-COVID-19 situation. Only thing is, the researcher used to come physically, talk to the guide, present what all he collected, present what all he has done, and then take the guidance from the researcher, from the guide for shaping and reshaping the total research work till it comes to a satisfactory level. Same thing have to be done now online, maybe video conferencing, provided these things like interest, involvement, and that kind of motivational levels remain the same. Okay, next.
Sir, there is one more question. In this pandemic situation, most of the employees are working virtually. Is this condition profitable or not?
Is this?
Condition is profitable or not?
This is going to be profitable. You have to make it profitable. We can't because we have no
for the organization.
Yeah, that's what I said in the process of my presentation. I said very clearly, this is a situation, this is a U-turn, this is a new direction, totally a different situation that has been that has been created by COVID-19. This is a reality we have to accept. And the other reality is that organizations have to survive to meet the growing demand. My first slide talks about, it says very clearly that there is a demand, employment, there is a demand in the employment market. Employment market continue to provide increased demand for employment in spite of COVID-19. Similarly, in spite of COVID-19, the demand for physical goods and services or products and services, the need for product and services, rather demand for product and services continue to increase. That is a reality. In between, the one side this COVID situation, one side the situation created by COVID, on the other side, the increased demand, the existence of increased demand. In between these two, organizations are there. So they have to now reshape, redefine, and change themselves totally so that they get adjusted or they absorb the changes created by COVID-19 into them in their work practices, and then continue to produce the goods and services to meet the growing demand. This is mandatory. There is absolutely no second idea for this. Now the question is how the organizations have to change. So therefore, the question is that it will be profitable or not. Yes, it has to be profitable. Organizations have to make their design and redesign, skill and reskill their employees in such a way they continue to be profitable by meeting the goods and services to the growing demand in the market. There is absolutely no other go. There is no second thought. There is no second option available to the organizations. They have to change themselves to meet the organization, to meet the growing demand in the market. Okay.
There is one more question. There is one more question. In this pandemic situation, most of the employees work from home. Will the companies treat similar as free launches in future?
Free?
Launches in future. Launchers.
Yeah, they have to. They have to. When employees are working from home, they have to apply all these techniques. I am unable to. Are you talking about free lunches?
In future.
Yeah, they will have to.
By Prasanna Yadav.
They will have to adopt all kinds of the techniques and models that would make the employee comfortable at home and continue to work for the organization. One side. Again, referring to my previous answer, the organizations have to bring in all the new techniques and models and methods to see that their products are continuously with a free flow reach the market and meet the demand. Next.
Any queries? Dear participants, any queries?
Appal Raju, any query?
Appal Raju sir, any query? Any queries?
Rahmat B.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rahmat. Tell
Sir,
me.
in this COVID times, where does the function controlling stand in the HR function?
They would be redefined.
Will it be revamped? If yes, how?
Yes, yes. No, they will not be revamped. They will be redefined.
How, sir?
They will be redefined. The control now is through online. Therefore, the online control mechanisms would be employed by the organizations in managing. Supposing your reporting time, your online reporting time, your online report exit time, and how much are you contributing in during this period. All this will be counted, and the employee will be paid accordingly, not just simply the days, but minutes and seconds will also be counted. The organizations would become more adaptable to micro. Organizations would adopt more micro analysis rather than just rather than the practice existed earlier. Like planning will also be done online, right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Any queries? Participants, any queries? Okay, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I'll extend a vote of thanks, sir.
Yeah, please.
A big thank you to Murli sir for anchoring today's session. A big thank you to Murli sir for anchoring today's session. Sir had covered various aspects of HR during this pandemic situation, such like MNCs to start hiring staff to work online, and the impact of COVID-19 on Industry 4.0. And virus has increased the emphasis on the human connect as aspect of the HR function. And work from home with the minimum staff is a significant activity in the day-to-day life of a present scenario, and opportunities to be build up the capabilities under this pandemic situation has been discussed by sir very elaborately, and international markets and its need of hour in the present scenario, and employee well-being and motivation also very elaborately explained by sir. And the talent, competitiveness, workforce productivity, and supplier network, all these aspects has been covered by Murli sir very elaborately. So I feel that most of the participants are delightful with this lecture. And once again, I want to state that we are all very much grateful to have such a speaker for today's session. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being over here in this morning. It's a very great pleasure for all of us to hear from you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Over to Valli sir, HOD sir.
Dr. Sridevi Madam, Principal of our college, Satji Swami Naidu in absentia, the convener of the FDP, Dr. P. Sridevi, my dear colleagues, resource persons, and participants. Good afternoon to one and all.
Good afternoon.
We have initiated this FDP with some intention, and you people as participants have registered for this FDP with some expectations. As the FDP came to an end, it is the time to analyze whether this FDP met our expectations or not. You please express your views or feelings in the feedback. Coming to our side, if I analyze, my strong feeling is that the purpose of conducting this FDP is fulfilled. The reasons are, majority of the participants attended this FDP program are from teaching profession. As a teacher, we know that one of the prerequisites for a teacher to be a good teacher is organizing the content and presentation, in addition to the subject knowledge and stuff in the content. All the resource persons presented the talks with a lot of involvement, more effectively and more lively. We are resuming to our online teaching from 17th of this month. As Professor Murali Krishna Garu pointed out that classroom teaching cannot be replaced by any other teaching like online teaching or any other platform. But in this situation or in future also, everyone has to take up this task, or he has to shift from classroom teaching to online teaching. For this, mindset of the teacher and motivation is very much required for adapting this online teaching. So the resource persons showed a path by way of presenting their lectures, and also which gives how the lecture should be prepared, how the presentation should be, how the current content arrangement, and more importantly, how to make the students attentive. They showcased the role of interaction with the students to overcome some of the disadvantages of online teaching and learning processes. So in that way, this FTP is useful. Secondly, as a management teacher, there is a lot of scope to discuss current issues like trends, strategies, advancements in business sector in everyday lecture. I hope this platform helped a lot to know the advancements taking place in different sectors, and helps us to fill in the stuff in us to disseminate the knowledge to the students. During the lectures, I observed that resource persons highlighted the topics which can be chosen as a PhD topic or can be chosen to produce a good amount of research, a quality research. So in my feeling, the FTP guided the faculty in three aspects. One is improving their knowledge, improving or presenting skills online, motivated to carry research in the areas where there is a lot of scope. So these are my observations, and hence this FTP is 100% successful in our point of view. I observed that you people are very enthusiastic and interacted with the resource persons and get clarified your doubts. In this pandemic situation also, you people are participated, which shows the commitment and enthusiasm towards learning learning something which is really laudable. Big applause to you people, that is the participants. I am appreciating each and every person who involved directly or indirectly in conducting this FTP effectively, particularly the efforts put in by Dr. Sridevi for meticulous planning and execution of this FTP. In spite of her many roles, one as a mother fulfilling the needs of the kids at home, without the help of the servant maids, attending to NBA work at the office, we are going for MBA, taking care of the health at workplace, which is a big challenge of the day because the number of cases, COVID positive cases are in our department itself. So in that scenario also, she played an extensive role as a convener to conduct this FDP successfully. Big applause to her. Coming to the resource persons, we are privileged and honored to have eminent people from premier institutions as resource persons. The quality of the content that is delivered by the resource persons and their contributions towards research is really worth mentioning. I thank all the resource persons for sharing their valuable time and sharing their knowledge in spite of their busy schedules. We thank our university authorities and principal in particular for their continuous support and encouragement and cooperation in conducting this FDP. In the inaugural function, I announced that we are conducting FDP in mathematics from 17th of this month, but it is postponed due to commencement of the classwork from 17th. The FDP on chemistry is as usual that starts from 24th of this month. So with this, I will close. Once again, I appreciate the efforts of Sridevi and you people for patient learning for all the 5 days. Thank you and thank you one and all. Over to Dr. Sridevi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. A vote of thanks. It gives me immense pleasure to extend my warm greetings from the team of JNTUK UCEV to all the delegates and all the speakers who made this FDP a fruitful session. Really, we are all most grateful to have such the speakers for all the 5 days of FDP. And effort will be made to carry forward all the deliberations to see its light in policy frameworks in requisite arenas through JNTUK UCEV. As FDP comes to valedictory, I deem it a privilege to extend my thanks to all the delegate participants who have participated from all over India, such as Assam, UP, Odisha, Maharashtra, Bihar, Telangana, etc. Without whom this event would never materialize. I wish all the delegate participants a healthy and a safe stay at home. At the outset, I wish to express my deepest gratitude to the principal of JNTUK UCEV, who readily agreed to be the chief guest of the 5-day online faculty development program on the impact of COVID-19 on Industry 4.0. And I also extend my warm thanks to the Vice Principal JNTUK UCEV, who presided as guest of honor. And I convey my thanks to our HOD of a BS and HSS of JNTUK UCEV, Professor S.K. Vali Garu, who is a backbone of our department and inspired the team for facilitating the smooth functioning of the program till to this end. And I also extend thanks to all my staff members for their enormous cooperation in the institution of this gala event. Event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to have such a HOD to our department, dedicated HOD to our department. Really, it's a truthful saying that he is like a backbone to our department, and he has supported for a number of our staff to conduct many events like FDPs and all. Without his support, we could not have been taken up this task to be successful. Really, sir, very thankful to you. Last but not the least, I thank very much to our co-hosts for providing all the backup support in digital technology. And once again, thanks a lot to one and all who directly or indirectly involved in this program. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
And all the participants, I request you all to fill the feedback which was given in the WhatsApp group, and as well as it was given in the chat box also. And soon we'll be issuing the certificates by today evening or by tomorrow morning. Thank you. Thank you.